My name is Aaron Mukherjee. I'm a freshman here at the college, class of 2016. I'm involved in the Institute of Politics, PBHA, the College Democrats, and the UC.
My name is Shalini Pamel. I'm a senior in Leverett House, and I'm currently the Community Organizing Chair at the Phillips Brooks House Association, and I've also been doing a lot of work with Doctors for America.
I'm Danny Wilson. I'm a junior at the college, and I'm co-chair of the Environmental Action Committee, which is the undergraduate umbrella environmental activism organization.
I'm really passionate about education reform because I think education is the basis for equality of opportunity, which I believe is part of the American society, and it's an integral part of our nation, and I think it needs to be preserved.
One issue that is really important to me in this election is healthcare reform, and specifically moving forward with the Affordable Care Act. I think the ACA has been a huge historic piece of legislation, and currently it's under fire from political pundits and people who are basically misinformed about what's really in the law.
Concerned about climate change, and I think it's a defining issue for our generation and for not only the United States but all of the nations in the world. And we've seen that because of a fairly strong international discourse about the issue. There have been several large meetings in Copenhagen and Kyoto, in Rio, to discuss climate change, but there's been a fair amount of inaction in the United States, and it's an issue that's been almost entirely absent from this election.
In my experiences, it's been critical not just to work in school, but also to work with after-school programs, and so I think ensuring that there's enough funding for after-school programs, making sure that states are putting education as a high priority in their budget. In my state of Michigan, we've lowered education as a priority, and it's definitely hurt schools, particularly urban schools that already didn't have enough funding to run those after-school programs and to structure those. And I think, in addition, early childhood education is something that's very important. I work in South Boston with first and second graders who are struggling, and it's been difficult to see that they've gotten to the second grade level and haven't necessarily learned what they needed to do to get there.
I think it's super important that young people especially are engaging with this dialogue and understanding what's in the Affordable Care Act so that we could move forward in ensuring millions of people across the nation and protecting people from insurance company abuses, among other different provisions, so that we're making progress and not rolling back on all of the improvements that have been made thus far with the law.
I think we need to be more passionate on the international level and listen to our fellow nations at these large conferences when they talk about the importance of international climate change agreements, because it's really the only way that the issue can be tackled from a diplomatic standpoint. I think it would be great if we could have an honest national discussion about energy subsidies, the amount of money that we, or the subsidies that we give to oil and gas companies who are significant contributors to climate change, conversation about national standards about energy use and the environment. And really, I think it could just be a symbolic thing, because there are so many people willing to talk about this. There is so much information about the topic. It's not an unknown quantity, but when you have politicians who are unwilling to address it, that's sort of what causes this gap in activism and action.